So a celebration is in order. Fantastic news in a lot of ways. Now, we knew about this coming. We discussed it over the past couple of days and even had listings more than a month ago. But now we have our very first image that is leaked out. This image has been all over Baidu and Weibo, the Chinese message boards, and finally has surfaced on the Western message boards, and is that of our first image of the robot mode of Transformers Studio Series 86 Voyager class Ironhide. Now, this is exciting because that deluxe Ironhide from Earthrise, we talked about it before, it went on Amazon, it sold out, and then it just became the bane of many collectors that wanted to complete their display. They wanted to have their best version of Ironhide, something that's a good modern take of that classic van design, and it just wasn't the case. They were not able to get it. It was very expensive, and what was that did exist in the secondary market was extremely scalped at high numbers. Well, that is not the case anymore, and like I've said many times before, even my Instagram and Twitter post, you wait and it just works out for the best, and that Ironhide, well, that old Earthrise one, no one's going to care, because here we have today that Voyager class Studio Series 86 one. And when you look at it, it is absolutely fantastic what is going on here from an engineering standpoint. So there's even more of a heavy lean on that of the animation model from the original 1984 cartoon. All those fine details and veneering, the choice of colors, what I love especially from the choice of colors is how they were able to get those hits in the right areas. The dark grays used for the shoulders and the fists, but the light grays used for the crotch area and the lower legs. And not to mention the veneering detail. The crotch area, if you look how the tooling was done, it has that little almost kind of diamond pattern there. That was found on the original Ironhide animation model, and that's absent on the Earthrise version. When you look at the chest detailing, the way that it's the blue kind of windshield, the Autobot logo under it, and then the small little gray ventilation under that Autobot logo. All those little details there on the original animation model. Even that of how the headlights kind of settled in. It's amazing too, because when I look at it, it does things that even the masterpiece of Ironhide was failing to do. The masterpiece of Ironhide wasn't able to tuck in some of those pieces well. It had, you know, the biggest complaint a lot of fans had about Masterpiece Ironhide was on his hips. He had pieces of the car and they couldn't, you know, engineer it out. In this one, they managed to do that. And when you compare it even to the Earthrise one, there's different ways that this transformation works out, and the tooling, the way that they fold up the sides of the vehicle are done on different hinge joints, the way the feet are done. The only thing that I could really see between the two of them that's kind of the same is they both share the same sculpt of their weapon, which is a throwback to the original Generation 1 toy and, of course, the Diaclone mold. They have that little gun there that also doubled as the gun that was on his platform, so that seems to be shared between the two. But it's a new head sculpt, a brand new sculpt over. Again, it's a Voyager class. There's a larger budget that is given to them here, and they're able to really achieve that. I mean, I really hope 100% that this is how the final product is going to look like, because even the paint is a more nice matte paint on the face. Again, Studio Series 86. This emphasis on really getting animation accurate toys as much as they can within the confines of retail budget and within the confines of their price point class, in this case of Voyager. I love what I see. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm curious how they're going to handle, you know, the roof of the vehicle mode. Is it something that's going to be a shield much like that of the deluxe class that we saw before? Or is there going to be some way that it's been tooled in there? I think it's probably going to be more of a shield. I mean, there's only so much that could be done. But if they manage to somehow fold that back there and we're just not seeing it in this image, well, you know, kudos to the people at Hasbro and Takara that pulled that off. Again, I love seeing how we get masterpieces and we sometimes think that's the pinnacle of what could be done with a character. And then you go sometimes 5 years and then they somehow manage to do stuff that even they couldn't figure out with the almost limitless budget of a masterpiece. So this is absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy for people that they're going to be able to not only get an Ironhide, but get an Ironhide that is way better and significantly cheaper than what was before. This is going to be Studio Series 86. This is going to be something that's going to be in retail. It's going to be out there and people will be able to get it. And now anyone who has that Earthrise Ironhide, well, good luck if you were trying to resell it and make some coin. But that's just the way it is. I mean, look, I got that Earthrise Ironhide, so this isn't something that's personal to me. I don't care. This is more just I'm happy that once again fans are going to get an opportunity to get a better version of a character that could be on their shelf. And I mean, I've said this before, when I look at what's being done in the past like 3-4 years with the Transformers brand, I really look and I go, man, where do you go from here for some of these designs? Like, how could you make it even better than what we got before? Because when you look at someone like Ironhide, when you look at the lineage of Generation 1 flavored Ironhide toys, I mean, going back to the Bakon 2005 one, that was just a toe line retool. So, yeah, that's about as good as it was going to get back then. Then, of course, we got that Generations one, which was hit or miss in my opinion. Or, excuse me, it was Universe 2.0, not Generations. But that one was kind of hit or miss. And then, of course, we got this Earthrise one through Amazon, and people were scrambling for that and paying stupid money. But it really wasn't the best that it could be. And all the yellow accents that just didn't make sense on the front of the vehicle, the front of the robot mode, it just didn't match what that old Fuiro Diri animation model was. And now we have this one, and this one is absolutely spectacular. And now it makes me wonder, okay, what could be done now to improve Ironhide at this point? I mean, the only thing they could do now, in my opinion, is look at this one that was done, go back and do a masterpiece in maybe, again, a couple years, an Ironhide 2.0, and redo what they did before and really give us something really good. But I think this is great. I think this is absolutely fantastic. Because it's a Voyager, MSRP is probably going to be in that $34.99 price point, or Walmart $34.97. But at the end of the day, $34.97 is way more than last I checked when I had this discussion, $150 just for the loose Ironhide without the prowl in the 2-pack. The 2-pack itself selling for $200 to $250, way more than what its original Amazon asking price was before it sold out. So this is great. This is fantastic. And again, what's cool too, looking at this, there's repaint potential. We could get a Ratchet at some point also, so we're going to probably see a Ratchet from this too, which is great, because even Ratchet was difficult to get. He was also in a 2-pack in that same situation. So getting a Voyager that works out much better, and they'll do it, because look, Studio Series 86, he was in the shuttle with him. It could work out. This is really good. And then, you could do the Protecto black colors. You could do the Diaclone colors. You could do all the craziness afterwards with Ironhide. Let me know what you think, guys. This is exciting news. We actually have much more news this week. There's a lot of stuff going on in the Transformer world. So stay tuned to Transformer Slag Podcast, and I'll talk to you again real soon.